13 minutes.
Okay, it's setting itself up. While it's doing it, I will grab that.
I think it's on.
Hmm?
I think it's on.
Yeah, it might be.
It says live on my one.
broadcasting. We start in 2 minutes. So they can just look at our faces for now.
Oh, really? Dance like Bossk clowns. It's on my phone.
Cool. Is that why I always get our one view? Is you?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh God. Okay, we're counting down.
Have the right quick text.
We're 1 minute away.
Oh, we're 1 minute away.
1 minute
we're
away,
live.
ladies and gentlemen. Please be patient with us as we're about to come.
You're going to build yourself up to your big climax.
We're less than 60 seconds away from the start of the show. This is not a trap.
It's a massive trap.
Okay,
it's like COVID. We're just getting you sucked in. And then everyone's being infected.
Oh my God, don't Omicron. No? Oh yeah, I need to get that Mac. Hopefully it'll be a bit better. I need to get booze. I feel left out.
Yeah, what?
I need to get alcohol. I feel pretty left out of the drinking thing. Okay, that's live.
Yeah.
Ladies, reach through the screen.
Yeah. Rum for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the week.
What's a whiskey?
That time of the week when the warriors of a distant planet come together after gathering stories from around the internet of woe, adventure, mystery, and entertainment. Suspense. This is a tale. These are legends of the boys from Bossk. My name's CJ Rock, and I'm here with the amazing Big Dave. Mike will return soon, someday. The man, the legend, will come soon. But for now, it is just a tale of two. And it's not a tale of woe, ladies and gentlemen, because we approach Christmas. It's a bit worried because Omicron's just getting up in everybody's business. It's like you can't mind your own business because Omicron's everywhere. So that's getting up in all our business. But apart from that, there's been stuff happening, exciting stuff. I'm on my health regime now, Dave. I went for a long walk.
Is that part of your dating profile now? Lifelong walks in the park.
No, I've got to be really careful because a long walk in my head, right? Like when I used to go running back in the day when I was actually fit, I'd go running and I think I'd be running for ages, but I hadn't. It'd be like 20 minutes. And it was like 20 minutes running up to Fulham Palace Road from North End, from Lily Road.
You've got an Apple Watch though, haven't you?
Not anymore. I broke that.
I was going to say, that would tell you, say keep up, keep going.
No, I will. The beast will return. Fit Curtis is on his way.
If Apple's out there, they could sponsor you one to get your fitness back.
Yeah, Apple, if you want to sponsor some up-and-coming talent, I'm here for you.
I just need an upgrade on all the stuff I've got.
How have you been, Dave? We were talking about you had nice pizza.
Yeah, it was all right.
I was saying, but how have Pizza literally gotten away with building this massive industry where they charge 20 quid for a pizza? Because it literally is just a flat bit of bread dough, right? Sprinkle some cheese on it and some meat and some sauces, and somehow that costs 20 quid. Now that's a markup larger than anything other sort of fast food products I've seen. Like McDonald's burgers, you can get what for as little as £2.
Yeah, but it's
now even just £1 for a cheeseburger, I think it is, or $1.20.
And then you've got that's the trouble. If you don't pay it, the prices will go down.
You think that, but they never have. They've been at
Called
that
marketing.
price for how long? Do you know what I mean? I did find a pizza shop that sells pizzas for a £5. You get 12 each for £6.99.
I
And
can't.
that's their
I
standard price.
honestly say I've
It's
been
not
to Pizza Hut in
discounted.
the last 10 years.
What's that?
I haven't been to Pizza Hut in the last 10 years.
I don't blame you. 20 quid for a pizza. I was
That's a
like, come
shit.
on, man. How'd you do that? Yeah, what sort of quality is that? But anyway, that's a discussion for another time. I don't know why I felt the urge to bring that up anyway.
Well, I said I had a
Right.
pizza for dinner.
Have you it's been entertainment. It's been an interesting week. I'll be giving my review of Spider-Man later, and I'll be trying really hard not to reveal any spoilers.
You won't be revealing any spoilers, otherwise you're going to get an axe to your head.
I'm gonna try really hard not to reveal any spoilers.
That's how you lose viewers.
Except to say
The whole one.
Except to say that it's a very entertaining film, but I will give it like my best shot not to do any spoilers. I watched it last Thursday. The cinema was, I think, half full.
And now
like
they're all
the
sick in
seats
bed,
at the front.
You
The
spread
seats
the
at the front
virus.
weren't. I made sure I got a seat, and I got a view. You know, my booty's a bit big, right? So I can't fit into the normal view seats. So I booked the VIP seat, but I booked it right on the edge, on the inner edge. So I knew I'd have, because I saw somebody book 2 seats along. So I figured if I bought that single seat in the far edge, nobody would book a seat next to me. And it worked perfectly. Now the R seat was already gone. But I had nobody next to me. Well, yeah, I made sure it was sort of like I coughed every now and again, just to keep people away. And I was sat next to a guy who kept doing dad jokes throughout the entire fucking film. He kept doing dad jokes. I was like, why would you? What are you doing?
Himself?
No, about the film. I was like, why is he
And he was by himself?
No, he had some. I think he either had his kids behind him or like relations of some kind. But it wasn't too bad. Admittedly, I even forgot he was there after a while because that film is good. No, Dave, you haven't seen it yet, have you?
No, there's too many viruses around.
True, and I'd be interested to see how long it's going to be in the cinema because now with Omicron on the rise, are they going to do
only in England?
No, in the States as well.
Oh, really?
It's going to be interesting. Spider-Man on its first weekend of release broke all records. No, it came in as the 3rd biggest opening on the weekend. And over the week, it's coming, I think, again at the 3rd biggest Marvel film opening in the States ever. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next week and whether the numbers drop a lot. And it's killed everything else.
Keanu's coming out.
Huh?
Keanu's coming out and it's Christmas.
You know what? I'd be very intrigued to see how that does because that's got a purely cinema release. Originally, it was meant to be released on HBO.
A stupid release date.
Well, like nobody's going to be out, is it? Everyone's going to be in lockdown. So are they going to do the HBO release thing and just put it out? Because it looks, I don't know, everybody's looking at it and going, how can they do a 4th part? The bruh's dead. He died. What's going on? And they cut Lawrence Fishburne out without any real explanation of why he's not in it. But again,
you might find out.
Yeah, no, there's probably a legitimately good reason. I'm a big fan of the Wachowskis. I'll give them all the time in the world, and it's definitely a film that I would say I'm looking forward to. In fact, I'm going to watch it on Wednesday.
You think you might be?
No, I am. I'm in there on Wednesday.
Yeah, if we're not locked down.
If we're on lockdown, obviously I won't. Well, it's tomorrow. What? Where are we at? No, Monday, so it'll be Wednesday. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to see it.
He's going to wait till Christmas Day, and give us all the bad news then.
Yeah, I mean, look, I take every precaution. Like I wear my mask in the cinema. I keep my distance from people, and I'm very like. I don't mess around. I wash my hands. I don't mess around with that type of thing, and I think as long as you do that, and I've had my jabs. I haven't had my booster yet, but I have that on the 29th. As long as you show decent precautions, it's fine. And the cinema, like I said, although it was half full, and people were in groups of people that they knew, like they were friends or family. So I think it was quite different in that sense. But again, don't take the risk. If you're worried, don't take the risk. If you haven't had your jabs, especially, don't go out, because everybody in hospital at the moment hasn't been jabbed. So please be careful out there, ladies and gents. Keanu's good-looking looks aren't worth it.
Now on with the show.
And on with the show. Now, first up is the trailer for a film called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Now, the reason why I bring this up is one of the really weird effects of streaming services being international. I don't know if you've noticed it, but nearly every product now is diverse. But Everything All at Once is all quite interesting because it's got Michelle Yeoh in it. Now, Michelle Yeoh seems to be popping up everywhere. And no disrespect, she's not she's in her 40s, maybe 50s now. And she's now more popular than I think she's ever been. Now, you'll remember Michelle Yeoh from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She was also in Star Trek Discovery. She's in, I think, Milkshake. What was that one that you didn't like? The Milkshake.
The Milkshake, whatever it was.
The gun. Yeah, with what's the name from Doctor
Gunpowder Milkshake, wasn't it called?
Gunpowder Milkshake. She's in that. And now she's in this film called Everything Always, which looks like an absolute mind swirl of a film, but it looks really, really good. And actually, the trailer got me a little bit excited, and it's just lovely to see Michelle Yeoh. And it's the type of diversity I want to see, because it looks like a story with a lot of depth to it, but exciting all at the same time. And that looks like it's going to be good. And did you manage to watch the trailer for that one, Dave? Or I don't feel bad. I feel bad now. Your little face is like, no, I didn't have the time. No, but check it out after the show. Let me know what you think.
I've had a hard week.
That's I can understand. But yeah, that's going to be.
I've looked at nothing on your list this week at all. So I'm going.
That's all right, but
total blindness.
That's going to be a big one, I think, for me, and I'm going to make sure I get that. I don't know if it's coming out it's set for 2022, but I don't know whether it's
2023 now.
COVID stuff. Who knows when it'll be out? Another industry that's been struggling, but it keeps looking at different ideas to either outrage the fans or wind people up, is comic books. And Lex Luthor, who for a while was even Superman of his own making in the comics, is about to become Batman, just to wind up Bruce Wayne. And the old comic book fans have already been wound up as it is, because they've got they get upset easily, comic book fans. Batman moved to New York, which is something that I've said he always should have done, because Gotham makes no sense to me whatsoever. But yeah, Lex Luthor's going to jump Batman? In. Lex Luthor.
Or he's going to be the baddie in Batman.
I don't know. He's just going to become Batman.
If he becomes Batman, it'd be pretty cool, because he's got the money and stuff, like Bruce Wayne.
Because Bruce Wayne in the comic books has no money now. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens. I didn't like it when he became Superman, because it didn't gel as a story. But I think the writing team behind this one's quite nifty. Let me see if I can get those details up again. The writing team behind this is George Molina is the artist. I can't. Have I got the writer? Joshua Williamson, and he's quite a decent artist, and I liked a few bit of his work from the past. So yeah, we've got that to look forward to, and it looks, like I said, it looks quite good. And I hope it annoys enough of the fans. Like I seem to be annoying a lot of people online these days. Now, where are we next? I just lost track there. William Shatner, right? You remember Star Trek from back in the day?
I'm afraid so. Yeah, I'm afraid
William Shatner, right? Actually went into space last month.
Did he?
Yeah. On the edge of space.
Did he?
He went into space. He went when there was no gravity.
I reckon this is fake news again. Jeff Bezos and all his money and fake news.
It was real. And do you know how I know it was real? They did a documentary.
Oh, of course they did.
And it's on Amazon. You can watch it on Amazon. Obviously, because it was a penis rocket guy, and that was I have to say, for a documentary, it was quite nice to watch, and it was actually quite exciting. And old William Shatner, when he comes back down, crying his eyes out. Not bawling, but he's like,
I just don't believe all this. All these astronauts do all this training for years and years and years, and then they can send up a 90-year-old man. That's bollocks.
well, what it is they go up, I think it's, what is it, 50,000? They don't go into space. They go on what's called like the edge.
Even the G-force, that would kill him.
No, well, they're not good. It doesn't, they're not going up that fast.
Oh, well.
Like the other rockets were like
I'll believe it
missiles.
when they send me on it.
All right, Dave, that's a deal. If the new establishment makes it big, we're sending you into space.
That's right. And then I'll believe it. But at the moment, I call bullshit.
Fair enough.
Too much technology. You can see everything now. They can make movies of this stuff. Documentaries they could do as well. Just green screen
becoming one of those conspiracy theorists, Dave.
Yeah, flat Earth, mate. Flat Earth.
In other news,
got released the curve of the COVID,
which I think was quite a nice story, is apparently, you know, that little, it's been a year to the day that we had the Book of Boba Fett announced at the end of The Mandalorian.
And it comes out
Apparently,
next week.
nobody even knew they were going to drop that at the end of that. That was a surprise to everybody, including Disney Plus employees. So that was quite a nice touch for everybody to see that. But it's out, I think, is it next
29th.
week? Yeah. It's out the 29th. It's had a few small trailers, nothing major. I thought it was just going to be one of film. But no, it's a full-on series. So that should easily, I think, take us into
I think it's 8 episodes. I could be wrong.
What's that?
I think it's 8 episodes, but I could be wrong.
Right, so 8 episodes, that'll take us into February, March, and then we'll see what's coming up in April, I think, because they haven't announced launch dates for much of the stuff that's coming out on Disney Plus, especially when it comes to Star Wars and Marvel.
Oh, so it's got Ahsoka and Obi-Wan Kenobi this year, haven't you?
Yeah, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the Acolyte.
Oh, and the Rogue One thing.
Lando. Yeah, Andor.
Andor, yeah. I think that's out after Boba Fett.
Well, I hope they do something.
I think that was coming out in March.
They're going to do big announcements for Star Wars on the May the 4th, which is always the date they do it. And Star Wars needs some good news after they're I don't think the launch of that new hotel thing they were doing in Disneyland quite went the way they thought it would.
It probably would have if there wasn't a pandemic going around the world for the last 2 years.
Well, no, I think it was when they said it costs like $4,000 a head.
No way.
Yeah, it's like a ridiculous amount of money.
Is that for like a family of 5?
Yeah, it's like no. I think it's at least $1,000 per head
per person.
So it'll be and like it'd be $4,000.
That's quite reasonable though. It depends how long you're there for, though, doesn't it?
Let me check because I don't want to get smacked around. Disney, if you are looking to sponsor us, feel free.
Take us to Galaxy Edge. See, no, you're ruining the show now. You've gone on big delay.
But I think it's really, really expensive for the whole. No, right. To get into that Galaxy Edge, but what's the other one?
Find that out next week. Carry on. Let's go.
Sorry, it was Star Cruiser. That was it. Right. Okay. Right. The Star Cruiser, which is at Disneyland. I think it costs $3,000. So per head, it's $1,209. So per night. So if you stay all 4 nights, it's $4,809.
$1,000 a night.
Yeah.
What do you get What do you get for this nighttime experience?
Yeah. So for 3 guests sharing a cabin, 2 adults, 1 child, would cost you $889 per night at $5,299 for the entire voyage. And what do you get, Dave? Maybe we'll leave that for another show, but you get lots of Star Wars The Adventures.
You get loads of freebies.
No.
$5,000 for a week.
For the entire family, but it's $5,000.
I get 2 weeks in the Maldives for that for the whole family.
Yeah, but how much is $5,000 in pounds?
About $4,000.
Yeah, so that's not for Star Wars. Like that's your retirement gift sort of holiday, isn't it?
Yeah, but if I've got over $100,000 in the bank, then yeah, it's not a blink, is it?
Yeah.
But most people have like $2,000 in the bank.
Yeah, or less.
Real people do.
Or less.
Yeah. Credit cards.
Yeah. But
Let's carry on.
anyway, moving on.
I'm already depressed. It's Christmas.
Oh, well, something to cheer you up. Neil Gaiman's other product. If you haven't read the Sandman comic book or read the actual adaptation of it, Neil Gaiman is, when it comes to writing for me, he's one of the greatest of his generation. And one of my favorite stories is the Nancy Boys, and they are Prime. Amazon's got a show coming out based on that. And they've cast their Daisy and Rosie. Now, the Nancy Boys, they had an audio production, which they've done with Lenny Henry at one point. But this apparently is going to be a full-on Amazon, we got the money production. And it's based on a Nancy, which is a great fable. Did you watch The American Gods?
First season.
Okay, in the first season, you met a version of a Nancy that Neil Gaiman had written before.
Is that the one that was in the car, the limousine?
No. Remember, he's on a boat and he convinces all the slaves to rebel. Did you see that episode?
Yeah, I watched
Yeah, so that was a version of it, but now they're going to have a separate version of him, and he's a bit more of a different character, a bit of a Lothario, and his son's basically set out to find out.
Is it going to be like American Gods then?
No, it's a lot more comedy.
Okay.
It's not a lot more funny than American Gods.
Like that other rubbish show that's meant to be a comedy.
Which one's that?
The one with Doctor Who in it.
Doctor Who?
Where they were like angel and demon.
Oh, you didn't like that at all, did you?
No, I hated that so
That
much.
actually did the opposite of arousing you.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to be like that.
It's like putting Richard Hammond against Richard Hammond. It's like the two most annoying people in the world in a show. It's like, go away.
Do you watch the rest of that Top Gear stuff? I've never, it's their number one shows, you know that? Like, literally, those people have gone.
You know what? I watch it because I find it funny, but I just can't stand that.
But you're a bit of a petrol head, aren't you? You're like,
I am. Well, I was. Now retired.
Now you're going to become a proper nerd.
Now I'm retired. I could become a nerd. Yeah.
Now, apparently, Doctor Strange 2 is going through some reshoots to include some more MCU cameos. I personally don't believe that's true, because what if it was anything to go by, and Spider-Man, I think that they already knew what they were going to do a long time ago. And I know for a fact that Captain Carter is going to appear in a Multiverse of Madness from What If, and a few other characters will do. And in fact, somebody released the trailer for it, which actually appears at the very end of a recent released Marvel film, which I think is quite a bit of a shame. But
we said no spoilers. What's going on?
That's not a spoiler.
That's a spoiler to me, because now I know it's there, isn't it?
You don't.
Yeah, that's a spoiler.
No, it could have been Eternals. Have you seen Eternals?
No.
Have you seen it? And that's not my fault. You've had every opportunity to watch Eternals.
I heard it was really bad, so I didn't want to waste the £12.
It was. Look, we're adults, right, Dave? Yeah. And when we say a film's really bad,
I didn't get invited to that one.
I don't think it was really bad. I think it has one of the most exciting moments in the Marvel universe. But the problem with the Eternals is it just wasn't a recognized brand. You
know what? On January the 12th, I will watch it.
Yeah. I think you'll enjoy it. But yeah, it just wasn't a recognized brand, and they didn't use the cast well enough. But I don't think it was terrible. I've seen Justice League, and that to me is a terrible film. But anyway, yeah, Doctor Strange is going through some reshoots as they add apparently some more characters and cameos and stuff like that, which is a normal for Marvel, but I don't think they're going to add that much in there, unless they plan on doing stuff with those characters. Now, Spider-Man made so much money. It's dominating the box office globally. It's dominating the box office in the States massively. There's no film near it, which makes me concerned for The Matrix, which is released this week, which is very close, but we'll be interested to see what happens with those films. I know Matrix is one of the defining films of our generation.
I actually started watching The Matrix last night because it was on Sky. And visually, it's so dated now.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't think it would be, but you watch it now, because of the special effects, it's just gone beyond anything.
I guess the mobiles.
It's just so, yeah.
The flips.
And Keanu looks like he's about 12 years old.
Yeah. But I guess they had to make it.
Still a good film.
Matrix, the Matrix has been in like development hell for ages,
Hmm.
but Warner Brothers is determined to make sure that Marvel don't get Keanu. And I know Marvel, of all the actors Marvel will be looking at, Keanu must be top of their list. Like clearly, it's like Keanu Reeves. Who
You'd
would
have
you
him be
cast Keanu Reeves as in the Marvel universe? Reed Richards straight away. And I know Marvel must want him for that so badly. But now he's locked into
Do you reckon?
the next three Matrixes they're making, I think. I think it's another trilogy they're going for all the Matrix. Absolutely. There's a few actors Marvel would love to get hold of and can't. What's his name? Old Tom Cruise. They probably love to have him in it, but they can't get him because he likes to produce and have a lot of control over any films that are made. And
I just think these actors are now just dated. Yes, Keanu's brilliant, but he's always done his own thing. I don't think he's a Marvel guy. You know what I mean? John Wick, independent, Matrix, independent. He does all his own independent stuff.
Oh yeah, but remember, he's also a studio guy, you know.
Oh no, he's a studio guy, but I don't think he's a Marvel guy. I don't think he wants to be a Marvel guy. You get typecasted with Marvel.
I don't think he's eager to, but that's only because they keep offering really good projects. Look at all the stuff Keanu's done recently here.
Yeah, but he's always had good films.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah.
You see, again, you like to reminisce too much, bruv. Because I know that certain film that you've watched with Keanu, and you said
love
Chain
terrible. Reaction.
You hate your Chain Reaction, terrible film. What else was it? Bill and Ted.
I love Bill and Ted films, but
no,
yeah, the last one was
the last one that
the last
came
one
out.
was
Yeah, exactly.
Wank.
Speed. A lot of
I
people
love Speed.
It. That's a stupid film.
I love Speed. Speed's a great film.
And then what else is there? Oh, I can't remember. But Keanu's had a few wobbly movies that make you go, ooh. So I don't think he's not a Marvel guy. I just think Warner Brothers.
I don't think he's a Marvel guy.
I think he's
in my vision. He's not a Marvel guy.
Ooh.
I don't think he's good. I don't think he'd be good in those superhero sort of things.
I don't know. I think he'd make a really good Reed Richards.
No, just leave him as John Wick. John Wick and Neo.
From Bill and Ted to John Wick. What a
But that's the only thing I'm really scared about the Matrix is because Bill and Ted 3 was such a disappointment 20 years later.
The only thing I'm concerned about is the script. I think the Matrix hasn't been really good since the first film. The second film was all right. The third film was a bit too highbrow.
What was the second one? Was with the white dreadlock guys, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then finding the key maker. You must find the key maker. Okay, go through this door and this door and that door. And then it had the big finale, which has one of the best action scenes in the film, actually, the third one. That I've certainly ever seen with all the mecha suits and all the rest of it. But then it ended on this sort of like, hold on, we've been here for 3 films. What just happened? Sort of ending. So hopefully it'll make up for it, but we shall see. And other news, I'm a big comic book fan, as you know, but I'm also a massive Transformers comic book fan. Not a huge fan of the films, but and I've never been a fan of G.I. Joe licenses. I did watch Snake Eyes today, which was it was so close to being a great movie.
How much did you pay for that?
$1.99.
Oh, that's not
on Amazon. Yeah,
I might watch that one then.
Well, that's $1.99, and I think so's Monster Hunter at the moment.
Monster Hunter. What one's that one?
Yeah, again, do you really want to know? It was is
that with the guy from the Maze Runner?
No, it's what's the name from
Mila Djokovic.
Yeah, she plays.
Yeah, I remember
the game, the computer game.
I remember it now. Apparently,
yeah. It's a game based on that, and so I'm not like.
Do you see a monster?
Mila Djokovic, I love her. I think
is there a monster? Because most of these films, there's no monsters.
I think there's monsters, but it's all CGI.
Do you see a monster?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it opens with a monster. I may watch it. I think it's either $1.99 or $4.99, but I'm thinking sure it's $1.99 because it was in the same brand as Snake Eyes. But we'll see. But Snake Eyes is just that far away from being a good film, that far away, and I don't know what it is. But I'm happy because the last time I saw Snake Eyes was
I think it's probably the acting.
The acting was all right. I mean, it was mostly Asian cast. Everybody was talking English, sadly, but there you go. It was mostly Asian cast. The martial arts scenes were okay. They were very traditional martial arts scenes, which may have taken away from it a bit, but they did them really, really well. Like, if you got two guys taking on 20, they inevitably have these stupid, like the camera's moving really fast, but you inevitably see that one guy who's waiting for his moment to jump, but he's just swinging his
Doesn't get
sword.
hit.
So it looks,
Goes flying and doesn't get hit.
it looks like he's doing something. Because obviously there's 20 blokes in the scene. And if 20 blokes rush two blokes with swords, the two blokes would be dead. There's no way they're surviving, right? But the way they did the film, it looked really, really good. And thankfully, they got rid of the lips on the Snake Eyes mask, which they had in the original G.I. Joe
Oh,
film.
they did, didn't they? Yes.
And I was sat there.
And so did the other ninja. He had lips.
Yeah. Storm Cloud.
Yeah.
And I was just like, why have they got lips on the mask?
Yeah, that was funny.
It makes no sense in any way. Like, the lips don't move, the mouth doesn't move. Why are there lips on it? And at least they got rid of that. It's not a bad film. It's quite a twisty film. It's got quite a lot of drama and actually quite a lot of depth. I just think that I just don't think G.I. Joe. I know it was a popular kids' toy back in the day in the States, but I don't think it's got
I don't think it's got that stuff because, like you said, we didn't have it over here.
We had Action Man.
We had Action Man, so it was a completely different story, different thing. They didn't even have a cartoon for Action Man. It was literally just a toy.
No, it was just they had the G.I. Joe cartoon. And
I mean, they had all cartoons and stuff, so it was a big thing in the States.
They did try and do a TV show, and I remember it was on it was Good Morning Britain that I think one of the actors
TVAM at the time.
Show, yeah. No, I think it was Good Morning Britain at the time, and one of the actresses who was meant to be in the show, the Action Man show, was on it. And I can't remember what it was.
They tried to do an Action Man show? No, they did. They'd done like a CGI version of it.
No, but I think they tried to do a live action show. And I can't remember it was Richard Madeley or someone else. Starts cracking up as she starts explaining what it's about. And the humiliation, I was like, you can't do that to her. And after that interview, they cancelled the whole thing. Because the interview was so humiliating. It was like, so what, you've got psychic powers, have you? I was like, it's the most brutal thing I've ever seen. And yeah, that was it. That was the last we had of an Action Man TV show, even getting close to it. But Snake Eyes has always been a popular character. It actually used to be a white guy, and it was the guy who played Darth Maul was actually in the original G.I. Joe film as Snake Eyes.
Ray Park. Ray Park.
Yeah, Ray Park was actually that, but they've changed the character to be Asian because obviously he's a ninja. It makes more sense if he's Asian.
That guy just cannot get a break, can he?
No. Have you heard him talk now?
Yeah.
I love Ray Park's moves and all the rest of it. But if Darth Maul's like, the Sith will be victorious. You right, lads?
Yeah, at least he spoke. Fucking Darth Vader never. He got James Earl Jones as he's standing.
Yeah. No, Ray Park didn't get to speak as Darth Maul.
Oh, didn't
they? Did the voiceover. Yeah. Oh. You haven't heard Ray Park speak? Trust me, go on YouTube. Listen, you heard him speak in X-Men. Do you remember his X-Men as Toad? And he's like, you haven't brought it back. Ray Park.
I thought that was Jason Statham.
No, it was Ray Park.
Oh God.
Oh, you came back with nothing, have you?
Oh my God.
What happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same as everything else. Who wrote that line? Who wrote that line? I want to sit whoever wrote that line down and go, what's wrong with you? Why would you write a line like it makes no sense? If a tree struck by lightning, it burns into flame. If a human struck by lightning, you get cooked inside out. There's a distinct difference between what happens when things are struck by lightning. But anyway, that's just me. So, right, I do apologise, Dave. I'm on one tonight. Where were we?
Because you're just making me laugh because when you're saying like these one-liners, it was like I was watching Masters of the Universe, and it was Fisto. And Skeletor will come down and he goes, I'd love to fist him, and that was it. I was gone on the floor.
That was good. A lot of people didn't like that, but
Skeletor, I'd love to
pleased that-
fist him. That was it. I was on
I'll
the floor
fist him.
crying. Yeah.
You know, Kevin Smith had been involved in that when it happens. I really want to see Kevin Smith actually write something at some point. And I didn't realize that, what's his name? The actor, the guy, Iron Man's buddy.
Iron Man's buddy.
Yeah.
Which one?
Hank Hogan? Hank Hogan. His
Who?
friend.
Happy
Hogan, right? He
John
was actually
Favreau.
he was actually in the original Daredevil film.
He wrote it.
He
So
wrote
where
Daredevil.
he writes all the bloody.
I know he wrote Iron Man, but did he write Daredevil?
Probably. He writes all the Star Wars programs as well, doesn't he?
How did he get another?
He
job
wrote
after
Mandalorian.
I know he wrote that. Well, no, he was directing on that one.
No, he wrote Mandalorian.
John Favreau.
Yeah, John Favreau. Yeah.
Yeah, John Favreau's in the original Daredevil.
He's a genius, that guy. Guy's a G.
I don't think he wrote it though. Let me see.
He's one of my favorite guys of all time. He can cook, he can write, and he can act. It's what they call an all-rounder.
No, like I think. Anyway, I can't talk about that film. So, where were we? Yeah, I was just sorry. I went off on one. But anyway, so the Transformers and G.I. Joe licenses have bounced around a few times over the years, but they've been with IDW for the past 10, 15. But IDW is also owned by Disney. And I think that IDW might be losing those licenses and they could be going to, you know, the guy who wrote Invincible, I keep forgetting his name.
Cartoon Invincible.
He's got a comic book company called Skybound, and the licenses could be going to them, which could be really, really exciting. It's part of the Image Group as well, so it could be interesting that it's going over to them. But yeah, that could be happening soon, and you could see a whole new Transformers approach as from 2023. But yeah, I know for you comic book fans out there who listen to the show, that's hurtful news. Now, in other news, the Halo TV series, which I know you're a fan of, and I've been a fan of over the years. Apparently, the TV show.
I hate Halo.
What?
It's the worst game made ever. Yeah, that's right. You look in your shock thunder. I don't know. You know, we are like yin and yang. We are the opposite
I'm
of each
pretty
other.
sure you used to like Halo, because I'm sure we used to play Halo together now and again. But
yeah,
Halo,
when we used to go up to the House of the Damned, we used to play it.
Yeah.
But
well,
apart from that, I was never a Halo fan.
All right. Well, the Halo TV series, which I'm looking forward to. The Halo TV series, which I'm looking forward to.
Don't tell me it's called Master Chief and Commander.
Which apparently won't have to follow canon and will have its own little universe, which I think is about good, because the storyline for the actual Halo game wasn't great, to say the least. And the new game, I've hardly played it, but it's not bad. It's just another shooty with a grappling hook.
The trouble, they're all the same now. It's just boring.
Yeah. Well, apart from, I have to say, God of War looked like it was doing something different to a large degree, and other games weren't. And that seemed to have a really good single player with a really strong plot to it. But I don't know. Now, for all you Punisher fans out there, again, the Punisher, famous for his Punisher logo, he's yet to be announced as returning to the Marvel Universe, but he's getting a new logo. T-shirt. Instead of the normal skull, his skull now has horns. It now has full on.
Punisher logo's been the Punisher logo for God knows how many years. Why change it?
I think because it was being used by
copyrighted, isn't it, by someone else?
No. It was that lot like Coppers started using it and stuff like that, and I think they just went, look, we don't want coppers using the Punisher. The Punisher is the perfect example of when the police fail. So you have vigilante justice. We don't really want police officers using it. So I think that's what they did. They went and updated it. So now it's literally skull crossbone, I guess. But it's got horns. So it looks a bit different. Did you manage to see it?
Oh, I can look it up.
Yeah,
It's not hard.
It looks very weird, but it can sort of grow on you. I think the Punisher's a very dated character. It's a very character at its time, which was the 70s, which was like, early
New
80s.
Punisher logo.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like I don't know. It's a weird, very, let's say, Asian style looking.
I think that's a side effect to the art. It'll be interesting. I don't think he is, but I think it's just the way the art's been done.
It's very
But,
devilish.
yeah. He looks like Bruce Wayne-ish.
I'm trying to think what he actually
From
looks
chin.
like. He looks
Well,
rather
yeah,
Asian as well, doesn't he? The Punisher.
Just a little bit, yeah. But I think that's just a side effect to the art.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I don't like it.
Mm.
It's not. It doesn't shout Punisher. Maybe if they got rid of like the swoops down the bottom, it'd be okay.
Mm.
But then you got the devil horns. It's like,
yeah,
not for me.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes down. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be interesting.
Punisher was always the goal with the
not.
running paint because he sprayed it on. So,
but we'll see.
well,
We
we'll have
shall
to see,
see.
won't we?
They're updating the story. Issue number 1 goes on sale in March, so it's got a bit of time for the fans to abuse it and Marvel to not release it. I think they used the excuse of COVID, but they were meant to release a new run of comics called The New Warriors, and one of the characters was called Safe Space, and another one's called Snowflake, which wound up certain folks on the internet, and it never got released.
You can't say Snowflake. Come on. We've got a whole planet full of snowflakes. You can't have another one.
But I think it's good of Marvel to try and change it. But I think, look, people who are unscrupulous will always use logos and images that aren't theirs. So I think it may just be a bit of a waste of time, but time will tell. Harry Potter, you big Harry Potter fan, Dave? Did you see all the films? Have you watched them with your nieces and nephews?
I actually started off taking my sister, who's now 30. That says something, doesn't it?
It does indeed, because it's the 20th anniversary soon, and I think you should get this on now TV, but or Sky. But yeah, the reunion special's happening, and they're bringing back everybody except J.K. Rowling to be part of it, because J.K.'s burnt about every bridge you can burn. So J.K. won't be on it, but everybody else will be on the reunion.
How could she not be at a reunion at something that she wrote?
Because she's turned into a bit of a transphobe type of person, and people are like, no, we don't want anything to do with that. Now, apparently, in the new Spider-Man film, this isn't a spoiler. In the new Spider-Man film, Morgan Stark's role, who filmed some scenes for it, was cut completely from the film. And for those of you who don't know who Morgan Stark is, she's a daughter of Tony Stark.
She's on a TV show, isn't she?
I think she'll probably appear in Armor Wars. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think this is the last we've seen of Morgan Stark. But we'll see. She's not going to take on the mantle of Iron Man. That will be taken up by a character named Lionheart, who apparently builds her own armor and sort of takes Tony Stark's place in the Marvel universe.
Have you seen her armor? It looks very much like Pepper Potts's.
What, the rescue armor?
Yeah.
So
watch this space.
Well, it'll be interesting. These are exciting times for the Marvel universe. We may get to see like a whole new level.
I don't think Armor Wars is going to come out because it looks like they're postponed now.
No, I think they'll come out. I think Marvel's already like COVID.
That's the only one that hasn't got a date for next year. So
it's probably because they had to push them back. But I reckon.
I think it's on the back burner. So.
I know. I reckon it's going to happen. I don't think they've got any choice with it. It's because Ironheart's got a contract. Ironheart's one of the key characters for the Young Avengers, and they've introduced most of the characters. And I think so far she'll be the only second non-white character on the team. But we shall see. We shall see. What else is there? Where was I? See, I keep putting my sheet away. It's exciting. Right. So, Hawkeye. So Hawkeye, right?
I loved it this week. Elaine has probably turned into one of my favorite characters. I must say, she is one of my new favorite characters.
Well, she's done all right. She's been good.
I mean, it's because she's got a witty sense of humor.
I have no weapons on me. No, that is a lie.
Maybe one, maybe two. Not in my hand.
I'm not here to kill you. Although I could kill you.
Yeah.
That was, when the Netflix series ended, I was really, really upset, and not like crying upset, just like such a waste of good talent and good storytelling, especially when it came to Daredevil, and the Punisher to a degree, and how gritty it was. I was all right with Luke Cage, but I think the stories could have been better. And I have to say, some of the performances in Luke Cage were amazing, like Cottonmouth.
He was so good, he's now Blade.
Yeah. So it was such, if you will, a nice touch to have.
And the old lady, she was good. The evil one.
Yeah.
I liked her. Even the Jamaican bad man, he was good.
The gun runner.
The one that had the special powers as well.
Oh, okay.
The Yardie.
I just think at the same time, I think they did a really, really good job on those series. And they had so many good actors and character actors in those things. It was a shame to see them go. Now, as I've said with Spider-Man, the new film, I think you're going to see a lot of doors opening, especially in Doctor Strange and stuff like that happening. But this week, with the latest episode of
Hawkeye, that
Doctor
Strange's doors opening. Yeah, that's a good one.
This episode with Hawkeye, they introduced the Marvel Universe's biggest criminal mastermind, the Kingpin. And the Kingpin's going to have a big year.
But they mentioned him. They didn't actually show him.
What's that?
They didn't show him, did they?
No, they just showed a picture of him.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if he's going to appear in the last episode.
Mr. Fisk himself.
The next episode of Hawkeye coming up is going to be the longest episode.
Was the last one, isn't it?
Yeah. It's going to be the longest episode of Hawkeye, and it's Vincent D'Onofrio. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Who's a lovely human being by all accounts, and he's trying to get everybody from Netflix in it, because we're singing the praises of the assistant from the one who plays Katie Page in Daredevil, because she hasn't been announced. Matt Murdock actors being announced as moving over, and I think he's the only one in Kingpin that we've had confirmed as going over from the old Netflix stuff. So I do hope we get more of them in there. I know I've heard rumor Christine Ritter's going to be back as what did I forget? Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Who I think personally the first season of that was brilliant. The second season for me, not
even
so
if
much.
it did have Doctor Who in it, it was annoying.
Yeah, but no, I liked it. I thought it was.
No, I did. I really enjoyed it. I just hate that guy so much.
My favorite line being, "If I go full out, I'm going to break you. You can't break me."
Yeah, but that's what you make Luke Cage in the bar.
And I just think at the end of the day, yeah, Jessica Jones is one of the best comic book creations out there, I think. And it'll be interesting to see if she does come over. But yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio has made it. What did you think of the episode, Dave? We'll do our review now. We've still got a few stories, but what did you think of the episode?
I actually really enjoyed this episode. And I think, I don't know, I think she's not a very good Hawkeye, though.
Really? I think she's brilliant. She does the character. Well, no, she's not a good Hawkeye yet.
No. I know she's in training, but she's meant to be this ultimate athlete. And she gets beaten up every time she fights someone. And then she's meant to be this gold medalist of everything. But no, it's like I said, Yelena's turned into one of my favorite characters. Even the mute girl, what's her name? Echo.
Yeah. Very
good.
Well, her series is coming up next year, I think.
Yeah.
She's getting her own show. And I got to check whether she's actually disabled or not, because I think Marvel seems to it doesn't have a great track record with actors who are disabled, but Eternals really set
they had a deaf woman in that, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think that was in terms of film, that was quite exciting. Not one of the first films to do that by far, but in terms of getting disabled performers in, they seem to be making a move towards that. And I think they did a really, really good job introducing Echo, and I'm quite pleased you like her because her story is quite exciting.
Yeah.
In terms of the Marvel universe.
They haven't mentioned who her father is yet, though. So that'd be interesting. No, they didn't actually mention his name, did they? He just said that I was sent to.
Oh no, the king. They've said that the big guy,
the king, her dad's big guy. Yeah, they're just saying that Kingpin hired the hit for her dad.
It's her uncle.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really, really exciting, especially if they run with the Kingpin, because I know I've got a feeling sometimes they try out these storylines in the comic books, and I think they tried out next year. I know in Marvel, Kingpin's about to run for the presidency of the United States of America. He's been mayor of New York for a while, and he's just about to start going down hard on the superheroes in the comic books. So I'd be interested to see if he becomes as powerful a character as that in the Marvel universe.
Then how are they going to link it up with the Netflix universe? Have they?
They won't. I think they
deleted that. It never existed. Yeah. That he's in prison.
Well, they have to. Too many. The Netflix will really
already bringing Charlie Cox over as well. So it's like, well, you got to keep.
No, I think they're going to bring in. I think they're going to bring in the Punisher and a few other characters as well. But I think you can't. You have to forget the Netflix, because the Netflix were really good at using Disney's name. Because look at the actors they got to be in the Netflix stuff. Like some top, top names they got in there. Some really good actors they got to pop up in their show. Sigourney Weaver. Do you know what I mean? And the guys being Blade and Michelle Ali, they got him to play a villain. They got
that was his debut, though, wasn't it? Really?
No, he'd been in other stuff.
That was his. Big
He was in Broadway.
Yeah, but that was his big hitter.
Huh?
That was his big hitter. That's
Broadway.
No, the Luke Cage.
No. Broadway was his big. It was his big opening. He'd done a few films. He did Moonlight.
Has only done that. Did he do Lovecraft Country as well?
Did he do what?
Lovecraft.
Lovecraft Country. Was that here? No, I don't think that was him. I think that was another. That was an actor who I think died earlier this year.
Is that why there's no season 2?
No, season 2 was, from what I hear, it was meant to be completely different. It was meant to be set during a Confederate America, so the South had won the war, and it was meant to be set during what America would be like. Like each series was meant to be a different story, but it got cancelled because the director went to another channel. The original writer went to another channel, and HBO were like, "We're not doing it. Sorry." Even though it won loads of awards and it was a really good
like
show.
The biggest thing ever, wasn't it? And it just
I know, but it was black people. And bruv, I was on LinkedIn, and Sony have released a trailer for Anne Boleyn, and they've cast a black woman as Anne Boleyn.
This was out.
People got upset, bro. People got really upset. So yeah, I think with Lovecraft Country, you won't see that back.
Yeah, but that sort of thing, I kind of agree. You can't change that.
It's a film, Dave. It's a film. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you say that. But if she was on the other foot, there'd be bloody uproar.
Dave,
come on. I'm not getting into this discussion, but you know it would happen. Anne Boleyn was a white woman.
Dave, just let me say this, yeah?
She was a real person.
Dave, let me just say this. Let me say this, all right? As a film historian, I can tell you now, there have been hundreds of incidences.
Oh, I know this.
Of white men.
I'm just saying.
Hold on.
There was there's going to be backlash every time.
What for? It's not a historical document. It's
Yeah,
just
but
a
this is
film.
what people do, and it's like, oh,
Don't be one of those people. Be more like
just
Curtis.
keep everything to the book, and then it'd be fine.
Be more like Curtis. Mind your business.
I tried to. That's why I didn't watch it.
I mean, unless you're going to watch a film about Anne Boleyn, which most people aren't, what does it matter? Who cares? It's a film. It's not a historical document.
I don't think it was a
It's
film. I
just
think it was a
movie.
TV show for like 5 episodes or whatever.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the one about.
I remember it being on the telly, but
No,
I
I think I know what
don't
you're
like
talking about.
period shit.
I know. So exactly. So mind your business. Don't.
No,
Well, I don't think that's right. You're not even going to watch it. Mind your business. Anyway, so
I've done my bit.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to give you a hard time, Dave. I love you, buddy.
Oh.
Right. For those of you that love your Zelda action, Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 has been announced for winter 2022. Breath of the Wild was one of the biggest hits on the Switch. I think it's still one of the biggest hits because the Switch has only got like
5 games.
I don't know. Well, no, it's got maybe 5 games that everybody wants to play, and the rest is just like hobbying games or adaptions. But the Switch is still the #1 selling console in the world. So, Nintendo don't have to worry too much. Next up, and after the release of Spider-Man, fans are asking for a third in the Andrew Garfield trilogy, which nobody likes. I don't think Andrew Garfield like it.
He only made 2 films.
Huh?
Did.
Yeah, he only got the 2, but they're asking for. But my guess is that they're going to ask one of the either him or the original Spider-Man.
Are these spoilers that you've thrown out? Because they weren't meant to be in it. Remember?
Listen,
so come on, this is a spoiler.
Look, mind your business.
Another
listen.
flick.
Mind your business.
Flick in the ear.
Mind your business and listen. I reckon they're going to ask one of those.
Rude. Such a bully. I left
I'm
my
sorry.
other job because I was getting bullied, and now I'm going to have to leave this one as well.
Dave, let me give you a hug.
No, I'm not in that.
Give me a hug. I'm sorry. Look, there's a hug.
Virtual hugs.
I reckon they're going to ask one of them to come back and be part of the old Venom verse and all the rest of it because it would make sense. I'm still crossing my fingers for that's at some point in the next couple of movies, Miles Morales will appear because I think it's about time we had our little black Spider-Man.
I think they should turn him white like they did with Anne Boleyn. Do the opposite.
They did. He's called Peter Parker. I don't try it with me, Dave. I'm too good. After you're done with you, I'm going to abuse some dickhead online who keeps saying, he keeps trying it with me. Stop talking about racism. You're the one getting upset because there's a black woman cast as Anne Boleyn, not me. Just mind your business. You're not going to watch it.
I'm not going to watch it.
So yeah, right. So The Witcher, which is
like I'm a racist.
The Witcher. You're not racist, Dave.
I know.
Misinformed.
Best friend, otherwise, would I?
Well, you might not find no. The Witcher, which is doing really well. I think it's still #1 on the Netflix charts internationally. Is getting another spin-off, which is Witcher Blood Origin, which again is starring Sophia Brown, but again stars Michelle Yeoh.
No,
it's a live action film. The trailer's been released today. And it looks quite tasty. It looks quite good.
Why would you do this? I don't understand.
Huh?
Why you would do this while season 2 of The Witch has just come out?
No, the trailer's just been released today.
No, but why would they make a film? I just don't understand.
Oh, because there's money to be made. I mean, The Witcher's a massive franchise, and it's.
Yeah,
I think
they're making another 7 series. Why would you make a film? That's just, I don't know. So obviously, there must be multiple rights somewhere.
No. I think Netflix is just trying to make the most out of the franchise. I mean,
but Netflix is making this movie.
Yeah. So it's just, I think it's going to be about the early Witchers.
That's a prelogue.
Yeah, it's going to be set before the time that's set out, and it's going to be about the early Witchers. But it's about money, bro. It's about the money. The Witcher's big. I mean, considering how much of a budget it has, it's messing around with the heavyweights. And with, I think Amazon exploiting
Wheel of Time.
Yeah, with Amazon exploiting Wheel of Time and the Lord of the Rings, Netflix needed something because it's already run into trouble with Avatar: The Last Airbender, because both the writers left that, and they're having to make that while, yeah. And so, I think it's fair on them. They're going to try and do the best they can. But I'm certainly looking forward to it. Have you watched any of the Witcher?
I think I've up to episode 4.
What do you think so
Or
far?
I've watched 4 episodes. I can't remember now.
And what do you think?
Well, the housewife favorite Henry Cavill's The Witcher. You got Yennefer that just goes half naked half the time. But yeah, no, I actually enjoy it.
Lots of heaving.
I like the way the princess is trying to grow some balls and do the Krypton factor. But the story's good as well. Yeah. So,
well, like I said, I think people are split.
I really enjoyed the first season.
You've got the old.
I think it started off slowly, the second season. But as I say, I'm only halfway through, so it's either going to get really good or really bad.
We shall see. Well, speaking of swords and all the rest of it, the current fetishization of Vikings and Northmen continues with a new film coming out next year called The Northman, which stars, let me see if I can get this right, Alexander Skarsgård, Anya Taylor-Joy, William Defoe as well, old goblin face.
He was in the original Vikings, wasn't he?
No, it was
his brother.
No, Gabriel Byrnes.
No. I'm telling you, one of the Skarsgårds was in the TV
show. Skarsgårds, yeah. There was not Alexander, but yeah, one of the others. There's at least 5 of them.
One of them played Floki, didn't he? And the other one was in Blood. What's that? First True Blood?
Yes.
He was the
True Blood one's Alex. I think it's Alexander.
And the other one was the brother in Vikings already.
Yeah.
He played Floki.
Right. So let me get because there's a lot of them. Like their mum was busy pumping those out.
Breeding Vikings.
Bill Skarsgård, who's the horror one, who's always in the horror films. Vala Skarsgård and Gustav Skarsgård. He was in Evil, The Way Back, Kon-Tiki, Westworld. He's Floki, so yeah. So that's
one of my favorite Vikings.
Yeah, and then Stellan Skarsgård is the one who's in the 4 films.
Okay. Which one was True Blood?
True Blood was Bill. No, he
played Bill. I think he played Bill in True Blood, didn't he?
Hold on, let me I love this because his son
it's proper trivia, isn't it?
He must be so proud of it. Come on, how proud as a dad must he be? Do you know what I mean? It's like, and Stellan. I'm surprised Stellan got cast in any Disney films because he was in that film Nymphomaniac. But let's see. So Bill Skarsgård, Alexander, is born in 1976. Who's one I think who's in the Northman, but he was in the Stand, Godzilla versus King Kong.
That's where I saw one of them recently. He was the one that was in True Blood.
And he's in Succession now.
Yeah.
Then you've got Gustav, who's Floki.
Yeah.
Then he's got Sam, who I don't think's an actor. Bill Skarsgård, who's the horror-looking one, who was in It and played the clown, Pennywise.
Okay.
Valtar, it just says he's an actor, doesn't say what. And I think that's it. Elja, he pumped him out, didn't he? He's had a vasectomy, saying that 8 children was enough. So, and nearly all of them have become famous actors in their own right.
Oh, here you go.
So credit to him. And I think he's been married more than once. Yeah, he's been married twice. So yeah, but he's really cool. He must be so proud of his kids. I'll be like, oh yeah, good sperm, yeah. Oh god, he's in Andor as well. Yeah, so I'm surprised he's in that. Yeah. Anyway, so so the Northman, it looks like I assume you didn't get to see the trailer, but the trailer looks very reminiscent of Vikings. It's got all the swords, the shields, are like all that
That's
sort
Vikings.
of like,
Vikings was my favorite show. for a long time.
Yeah, it's a very Viking show. I mean, Nicole Kidman's in it as well. And it looks to be a tale of a young boy who grows up in a very nice Viking village. Then one day his father gets killed and he escapes and vows revenge. And throughout the film, it's like, I will save you, mother. I will avenge you, father. And then he basically grows up to become a vengeful young man, like 10 years later, 15 years later. I don't know. It looks very bloody. So there's no doubt there'll be some spectacular scenes because it's
I need these sort of films in my life.
There's lots of men shouting at each other. And so I assume that there's a picture of there was an image of a Valkyrie at one point.
I hope you're not hyping this up though.
Well, no, it's got William Dafoe in it doing it's got all the good bits from Vikings. So you know that the soothsayer was blind.
Yeah, but the people in Vikings, they were actually Scandinavian. That's
what made it good. Most people in this are Scandi. You know, I just think
William Dafoe, Nicole Kidman.
Well, he's white. I don't know what's the problem. You're not happy if there's a black person in there now. You're not happy.
I just think there's too much plastic surgery going on in this film.
I like I said, it's a fetish, isn't it, for the Western world at the moment, Vikings.
Yeah.
Even though it's turned out that Vikings were it was just a job title and not a race of people. But that's how people go, isn't it? It's like, oh yeah, I've got Viking. No, you don't. You don't have Viking ancestry into you because they weren't a blood type. And in fact, Vikings, when they have done DNA sequencing on them, had Asian blood in them, Middle Eastern, all sorts, because it was a job title. You were a raider. You were
obviously you haven't watched Vikings when they go.
No, I have. I love that show.
Go with the time.
It got really bad during the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, but the last couple of seasons showed you going to Russia and stuff, and Asia. Yeah. So they followed the spice trail.
Yeah, they went around the world and they did a lot of shagging, and they were very mixed-blooded people.
Well, one of my favourites, Rollo, became King of France. So there you go.
Well, no, he became King of Paris.
All right, King of Paris. Another one that got his own TV show and was a disaster.
Look, they messed around with time in that show so badly. I was like,
there was no time.
Yeah,
they never told you that any dates.
The actual characters appear over hundreds of years, whereas in Vikings it's a couple of seasons, but it was over hundreds of years.
They're gods.
Yeah. Right. The other trailer that's out is Minions 2: The Rise of Gru, which is going to come out again next year. Were you a big Gru fan? Did you like Minions 1, Dave? Gru. When Minions grew,
they grew. Well, they got big.
No, The Rise of Gru. You remember Gru?
Who's Gru?
Did you not? Anyway, moving on to the next.
Who's Gru? Is he the dog?
No, the villain in
the one with the big nose.
Yes, with this extraordinarily big nose.
Is that his name, Gru?
Yes.
I never knew his name. You fell in love with that really tall, skinny woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched them all.
Oh, yeah.
I actually enjoy it. There's actually one called Dave. He's a bit of a plonker like me, see?
That is Dave. What is Dave doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, Gru's back for the Rise of Gru. So it's young Gru becoming a supervillain. And that's happening next year in 2022.
I thought that's what the Minions was,
date for release. Minions, yeah, but Minions 2. You have Minions when they first meet Gru.
Yeah.
And now this one's going to be how Gru becomes the world's greatest villain.
I just preferred Despicable Me and just leave it at that. That would have been so much better. Like Star Wars, isn't it? First three were great, and the second three were like, ugh.
No comment at all there. I've learned to love my Star Wars and build a bridge. Right, I'm still making my way through the Superman and Lois TV show. I'm like
Titans. You've been watching that?
Yeah.
You fell asleep, haven't you?
It's too dark.
Yeah, I fall asleep every time I watch it as well.
I sit down, right, and I have the same problem with the watcher, right? I sit down to watch them, and no matter how much I like them, I'm like,
I've learned not to lay in your bed while watching these shows, otherwise you will fall asleep.
But I think the Watchers are, I fell asleep, but I'm finding the Watcher quite an enjoyable show to watch.
But every episode of Titans, I've fallen asleep.
Titans is just a bit. I do enjoy it as a show because it just.
The first 2 seasons were
I
okay.
find
They're
it really
enjoyable,
weird.
but this one's like
Mm.
gone really slow and really dreary, boring. There's no action. Ever since
I think
Hawkman got killed, that's it. It's like, oh.
I think the dialogue's terrible. It's like whoever writes it, I don't know what it is about Warner Brothers.
They got
and the
some big actors in that.
Yeah, but the CW in particular, they got the actors are really good, but they're delivering really bad lines. Like in one episode, Dick Grayson, not Nightwing, but Dick Grayson gets the Scarecrow out of prison, right? But to do this, yeah, he knocks out 3 cops, batters up 3 cops, and runs off with them. And I'm like, is nobody going to address this? Like, is nobody is this not an issue? Like, at a police union, not like, well, he beat up 3 of us. Why is he not been arrested yet, sir? And it just, I don't know, it feels a bit silly. And why does everybody know who Bruce Wayne is? You know, I don't get it. I just, the dialogue
Bruce
so
Wayne the Killer.
wooden. Huh?
Bruce Wayne the Killer.
Yeah, like Bruce Wayne, I do like the Bruce Wayne in this, but I just think they need better writers.
You like it because he was in Game of Thrones.
No, I like him because he's like the way he's slightly a broken bat. He's like, I haven't really been that good at being Batman, and why do I keep getting young men to be Robins? You know, why do I keep doing this? And he seems a bit desperate not to make that mistake, but I just think, I don't know, there's something really off with the dialogue. Nobody seems to be talking naturally or in a way that makes sense.
I just think there's too many characters. I think that's the problem. There's too many characters and they're trying to give them all lines.
For me, the biggest mistake is not having Cyborg in it. I don't know why Cyborg's in Doom Patrol. I think it was because they needed a black character in Doom Patrol. But for me, Cyborg shouldn't be in Doom Patrol. He should be in Titans. Booyah!
But he is in the Teen Titans, the cartoon, isn't he, as well? And he's in the comics. So it's like, why is he not there?
Yeah. But I'm like, look, of all the shows not to have black characters, I get the issue with Doom Patrol not having a black character, and they feel they have to have one in there. Well, why Cyborg? Is he a throwaway character? But yeah, I think it's missing that. I do love Starfire and her sister, fucking badasses, both of them. But again, the lighting, I don't know who's in charge of the lighting on this TV series. I know they're black women, but Jesus Christ, like the lighting's really bad.
They're black? I thought she was green.
In the comic book, she's orange. Orange.
Oh.
And yeah, I don't hate it, but I haven't made it to the last episode. I'm having a lot more fun with Superman and Lois.
What episode you on that?
I'm up to the episode where Morgan Edge has just become attached to Brainiac.
Okay, so you've only got like 3 or 4 episodes left.
Sorry, so to the Eradicator, and they're just trying to take him down.
Yeah, you haven't got many episodes left. You're nearly finished now.
Because for some reason BBC put all the episodes online. They were like they're broadcasting them every Saturday, but they put them all online. It's like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think it's a really strong series. Again, the dialogue's a lot better than in the Titans, and it doesn't jar you out of it so much. But it's good. I'm enjoying it. Moving on, I think that's it. Witcher was spoken about. The Expanse you hate. It's still going strong, ladies and gentlemen. Every Friday, catch it. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. It's building up a lot. In the recent episode, they just found like 1 million meteoroids were heading towards Earth, and they've got to stop them all. And I absolutely love that. But yeah, it's been good. I think my highlight of the week has been Hawkeye. Film of the week for me has been Spider-Man.
Not Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time.
No, it's all right. I'm not hating it. It's a penultimate episode. It's the final episode this week, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm just getting into it.
Yeah. I will do my quick review of Spider-Man. I won't give any spoilers away. I promised not to give any spoilers away. And Dave's my watchman. If I get close to a spoiler,
I'm going to put you on mute.
Me. But as it stands, I think it's a great celebration of Spider-Man. It's absolutely amazingly enjoyable celebration of everything Sony's done and the house that Sony's built. It's not a perfect film by any means, but I think it sets up for, I think that, if there is another act
Have a
to
Disney
take out.
show.
No, I think they could do a Disney show if they did it based on Mary Jane or whatever it is, Michelle Jane and her friend Ned. I think they could do something there with those two characters in a separate show. But in terms of
What's Ned,
Spider-Man,
the chubby guy that's now really skinny?
yeah. But I think now we're going to see them really push the boat out, and I think they could do a live action multiverse with the next trilogy, because that would quite make sense if they
Multiverse
did that.
will open up a lot of TV shows.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's a great celebration. The time will fly by. I think it's definitely worth the time and effort to go and watch it. I would be surprised if Sony don't release it in the next couple of weeks on pay on demand, because I don't see many people going to the cinema. It is justifiably breaking records, but as I've said when they've done Spider-Man really well, Spider-Man's always been a big hit movie. Even the worst Spider-Man films have made a lot of money, and I think it deserves all the plaudits it's getting. It's so nice to see a lot of I was about to give a spoiler there. It's so nice to see some
Familiar faces.
No, of the superb
don't say it.
acting that takes place in the film. The action
from Tom Holland.
The action
and
scenes
Cumberbatch
are superb. Well, Cumberbatch isn't in it much, but again, it sets him up for his film.
I thought he'd be in it. It sounds like he was in it a lot.
No, he's only in it as much as Iron Man was in Homecoming. He's not in it that much.
Okay, so he's got like 20 minutes of screen time.
I do warn you, there are some stomach punches in this film, and you will be like, "Oh hell no, they did that." But I think it's a superb celebration of Spider-Man, and you won't feel no superhero fatigue. You'll have no time for no superhero fatigue, and I just hope they're able to get all the cast back together. Huh?
That sounds like a spoiler.
What, superhero fatigue?
Yeah, that means there's loads of them in it.
No, it just means you're tired of watching superhero films.
Oh, okay.
It's got a lot to say about refugees, which is incredibly subtle.
Do they come over on boats?
But it's got a lot to say about refugees and how we treat people from other places. And I think, like I said, it's worth the wait. Try and stay away from spoilers. There's an entire industry out there built around spoilers.
Yeah, called YouTube.
And I don't want to be Google. That guy. Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. So try and stay away from spoilers, because I'll tell you this now.
And Facebook and Instagram.
It's so worth it. It's so worth it. Like, you already know that Dr. Octopus is in it because you saw the trailer. And
I haven't watched any trailers.
Yeah, you did, because we spoke about it.
I didn't watch any trailers for Spider-Man.
No, yes, we did, because
no, we
never spoke about it. You haven't watched any of them at all?
No. You might have spoken to Magic Mike, who has disappeared.
He'll be back.
He might be back for 2022.
No, he'll be back. He said he's probably going to do a lockdown special with us.
We're not locked down.
Yeah. Not yet, but we will.
The unemployment special, we can call it.
Yeah. No, true, because I might actually end up unemployed.
Well, I am from Friday. Hey.
I'll be here for you, Dave. I'll employ you as a singular employee of the new establishment. Oh, hell, we've gone over time. Right, so...
We've gone over an hour and 15 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was it. I think, go and watch Spider-Man. You'll love it. Dave, any final notes from yourself?
Go and watch Matrix. You might love it.
Hey, I'm going to try and watch Matrix Wednesday and try not to enter the Omicron Matrix, but the Matrix proper. But either which way, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the show. I certainly enjoyed hosting it.
Have a nice Christmas, everyone.
I hope you've enjoyed the year of entertainment. I can't remember when we started doing these. It was February.
We've done it every year.
Yeah.
We've done it over two. Well, this will be our second year.
But a big thank you to everybody that's helped us get this far. I know our audience is building internationally. It was quite tasty. Hello, Americans.
Hello, America.
I hope you're enjoying the shows. We'll have more. We'll have a bigger, better show next year as we go into 2022. But thank you for joining us on this journey. This has been the Global Frequency.
No, it hasn't. It's the wrong show.
I can edit that. Okay, let me try that again. This has been the boys from the boys from Bossk.
So disappointed.
Huh?
So disappointed.
Oh, don't be too disappointed.
What does the background say behind you?
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the boys from Bossk. Have a nice night. Dave.
Good night, everyone. Ciao.